Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. Just help me get to 1,000 subscribers. So this is 2022 and somebody actually asked me about living cost in Ghana, like what does it take to live in Ghana. And I'm like, okay, I've done this video before, but there were some things I think I didn't capture in the old video, and because this is 2022, a couple of things have actually changed between when I did that video and now. So I'm going to be doing a comprehensive, I'll call it comprehensive because these are things you actually do monthly. I'm going to be capturing them and telling you the price ranges for this thing, so you can actually say, okay, this is an average of what it costs to live in Ghana. And in Ghana, I'm focusing on Accra because Accra is the capital and I'm based here in Accra. I don't really know much about other cities, and I'm basing these on Accra because when foreigners come into Ghana, most of them actually stay in Accra because this is where this business hub is and this is where I'm residing. So in as much as the previous videos, or sometimes when I talk about things being expensive, I've seen people like comment and tell me there are places in Kumasi that is also expensive, Takoradi is expensive, and some other places where I'm going to be basing this. Okay, let's just say what works in Accra, we might likely work in some other places that are expensive. So I'm going to be giving you, okay, this is what this thing cost, and just plan your life around that. This is for you who is maybe planning to relocate. It might not necessarily be Nigeria. I've seen people who tell me they are based in the US and they're planning to move back to Africa. So that Ghana, they are thinking about, okay, by my video I've actually helped them to like know what it feels like, or what Ghana looks like, and that my video has actually been helpful to them. So don't just be looking at the Nigerian factor, in as much as I answer questions based on that, because funny enough, part of that was why I started my channel, because I get to hear people ask me about Ghana, how is this, how is that. I'm like, you know what, let me put this thing in videos and put it out there. And from there I started developing other contents based on what people tend to ask me. So without further ado, I'm going to be starting with my number one. Definitely accommodation is the most important. You're not going to go to a country and you're stranded. So accommodation, rent, how much is that going to cost in 2022? Now there are different ranges of apartment, from studio apartment to a room and chamber to 1 bed to 2 bed, 3 and 4 bed. So I'm going to be giving you these different ranges. So for a room and chamber is what we call like a self-contained, yes, in Nigeria. You get a room and chamber between 300 to 600 cedis. Now this depends on your location, just like we have in Lagos, Nigeria, or other parts of the world. Where the location you stay actually determines the kind of rent you're going to be paying. If it's an eyebrow area, definitely the rent is not going to be the same with somewhere that that is densely populated. So it's almost the same thing here too in Accra. So for a room and chamber, you can get between 300 to 600 cedis. For a 1 bed, you can get between maybe 800 cedis to as high as 1,002 or 1,005. Some of them can come furnished. There's like a serviced apartment, so you can get from like 800 cedis to like 1,002 or 1,500 cedis. So for a 2 bed, like you can get 2 bed from 1,005 to 2,500 cedis. Yes, I know somebody living in like a 2,000 cedi 2 bed. And you can get up to 2-3. I've seen some 2-3, 2-2, depending on the location too. Very new apartments, you're going to get like 2-3, 2-5. But older apartments can come like maybe 1-8, 2,000. Yeah. So for a 3 bed, you can get from like 2,006 to like 4,000. 2,600 cedis to like 4,000 cedis. And most 3 bedrooms I've seen are always in like a self compound. Like most 3 beds I've seen in Ghana are always like just you have more of 2 bedrooms in Ghana. You have more of 2 bedrooms, and 3 beds are mostly self compound. Like you're the only one living in that. It's a small, just a mini bungalow, and you're staying alone in that premises. So now for like 4 bed, most 4 bed in Ghana are duplex. Like you are going to get them in duplex, a 1-story building duplex. And for those ones, you can get from like 3,500 to like maybe as high as 12,000 cedis. Yes, I'm saying that because I've seen somebody was looking for a 4-bedroom apartment in Laboni, and the cost was not funny. Like the prices I was hearing, I was like, are you for real? Like, are you for real? You know, they were not cheap. And a lot of apartments in Ghana actually in dollars. You pay in dollars, like they call dollar for you. They don't call small money. Especially mainly you're a foreigner, because they know foreigners are the ones that can afford some kind of things. So they call for you in dollars. But Ghanaians, of course, cedis you spend. We spend cedi everywhere. But for apartment, you pay in dollars. Dollars. Like they love that word dollars. And the way they just call it now, it's just about $10,000 per month. Yes, there are apartments like that, like $7,000. And I'm like, really? And people actually stay in such places. So there are people have money. Don't people have money? Yeah, people have money. You don't know. So I've given you the ranges for from a room and chamber to 4-bed. They also have 5 bedrooms. It's a, just like that. It keeps going high. But I know you're coming in. Most time, what people settle for is 2-bed or 3-bed or sometimes even 1-bed. So I've given the ranges for this thing, and the prices I give are for monthly. Like they are monthly. So you're gonna times it by 12. And get the exact amount for your range. Then of course you have the charges, and if you're paying newly, some of them do 1 year, some of them do 2 years, so that's for rent. So for feeding, well, feeding actually depends on how large your family is. If you're a single person, it's different from maybe a family of 2 or a family of 4, 6, as the case may be. So this one, I'm just going to cap it on something. Like, I'm not using my own family as an example, but it also depends on how you eat. Some people don't eat so much in the house. Some people eat once a day, because everybody in the morning, everybody's quick to go out. They only come back in the night. So I'm just going to give that at 1,200 cedis. It's actually not so much, but like I said, it depends on how you eat in your home. But I gave it an average of, if you're a single person, you might be using like 500 cedis. But as a family, a small family, like 1,000 or 1,200 cedis. But I'm giving it 1,200 cedis. Now for electricity, which is my number 3, for electricity, it also depends on the way you use it. It's pay as you go. As well as electricity is constant in Ghana, though sometimes they have light out, but it's not so common. So for that, I do 350, sometimes 400 a month. I know a bachelor that stays in a studio apartment that spends 120 cedis a week. So it depends on your usage. If you use all your appliances so well, it's going to depend. That's going to depend on how much you're going to spend. But on the average, I'm going to be leaving it at 350 cedis. Yes. So for electricity, 350 cedis. Water is about 80 cedis monthly. Some people spend very low. Now, this is for maybe you're staying alone, but if you're staying in maybe a rented place, like you have other neighbors, maybe the bill is like 100 cedi and you're sharing it, you're going to be sharing it, like maybe if you have 4 or 5 flats or 6 flats in a place, they're going to divide it in that. But on the average, I'm leaving it at 80 cedis. So for fuel, what we call fuel, whichever way we want to call it, I'm going to leave that one. That's if you have a car. And fuel in Ghana is actually not cheap. Like there was a time I did a video about increment, every time, and people tell me it's almost the same thing everywhere in the world. In the US, that they keep changing. There's always fuel hike in the US and other parts of the world. So for that, now currently it was almost 6.9 something, but it went back to 6.85 right now. So at 6.85, on the average, you spend 1,200 cedis a month. 1,200 cedis a month, like a month. So it's actually not cheap. But then sometimes I come to realize then people will live in like maybe 1 hour distance from their homes. They might be spending up to like 1,500 a month, because except you're not using AC. But if you're going to be using AC, you're going to spend up to that. But on the average, I just let it at 1,200. That's for fuel. So my next, which is number 6, transportation. Now I had to do this because not everybody can afford a car, and you're coming into a city. Like on the average, you're just coming in, you're settling down and all that, you might not be able to afford the car option at first. So you're doing transportation. Honestly, I didn't know what to do here because I don't really use it. Though sometimes I use boats, like I move around with boats sometimes, but like I had to just put up a thing, from people who actually do public transportation, and it's actually not getting cheap too. That there was even a time I heard they went on strike, but presently they are working, and they have both the Uber option, the taxi option, like you have anywhere in the world, and they have the trotro. What they call trotro is these Lagos normal buses you have in Lagos. They call their own trotro. Like, so if you're using that option, you might be doing up to 500 a month, depending on where you're staying. So that's why it's really advisable, if you know your business area or your office area, stay close to such places. If not, what you will spend on transportation, no, if you know you live around maybe, just try and make sure your work and office area is around where you live, so you're not going to be spending much on transportation. So for that, I'm just going to cap it at maybe 300 cedis. It might be more than that though, depending on how you move around and so many other things. And if you are the boat type, like you do boat a lot, of course, in a month you're going to be spending nothing less than 800 cedis, because let's say a week you're spending like 200 cedis. So a month, that's like 800 cedis. But I just said to leave that 300 for somebody that does trotro. Like, I'm just trying to be considerate, and I'm trying to just show that I'm just like using the minimalist lifestyle thing, like minimalist lifestyle. Okay, so my number 7 is gonna be cable, like DSTV, GoTV. Of course, like Africa, that's what we use mostly in Africa, whether Nigeria or anywhere. Of course, if you're coming into Ghana, you can actually come with your Nigerian DSTV decoder. It helps you to still have, a lot of Nigerian decoding channels on your TV. Like you can still watch your Nigerian channels. But if you're going to be doing it here, GoTV, the minimal, I think, cable cost is about 50 cedis. But for the one we use, 240 cedis. Like, they have the one of 180, but I'm using the average. Like, I'm just doing the 240 cedis on. So just have that in mind. Next for me is going to be internet. Of course, who does anything now without internet? You need to check anything going on in the world now. Your Google, your different apps, information apps, everything, news app, everything is there. So you need internet to have that. So I'm going to I will cap that at 200 cedis. I spend more than that though, but I'm using 200 cedis because, let's say weekly you're using 50 cedis for internet. Not too bad, right? So a month, that's like 200 cedis. Some persons don't spend up to that, but I'm just using that as my own average. Please don't come for me. So my last is going to be your waste disposal. In some places you do it as a group, like if you're living in an estate or you're living in the midst of people, you have an amount you pay monthly for it. Some pay as high as 20 cedis, 30 cedis. So I'm adding that. It might not look so big, as waste disposal is not so expensive. I'm adding it because, like, I'm just like giving people like what you need to know monthly, what you spend monthly in Accra. So having all these things now, I've listed 9 things, from rent to feeding to cable, waste disposal, internet, and all that. So from rent, so let's just do a total. So if you're going to be doing a total, like I actually wrote everything down here. So rent is going to be based on a 2-bedroom apartment. That's 2,500 cedis. Feeding, I left it at 1,200 cedis. Electricity, 350 cedis. Fuel, I left it at 1,200 cedis. Transportation, I left it at 300 cedis. Like minimalist lifestyle thing. A lot of people actually spend more than that, but let's just leave it at that. So for water bill, 80 cedis. For cable, 240 cedis. Internet, 200 cedis. And waste disposal, 30 cedis. So adding all these things together, we're going to be having 6,100 cedis. Is that not high? I don't know. If you're going to be converting to Naira, like, sometimes I just have to do that. I have shown the conversion rates severally in my previous video. You just do based on the current rates. Right now it's about 11.2. So it's just like saying 6,100 cedis divided by 11.2 times 1000, you're gonna get the rate in naira. That's not cheap. Like, that's not cheap. So in as much a lot of people say naira does not have value, it has purchasing power. It has purchasing power because things are actually cheaper. Like I say, what you can do with 5 cedi, you can't do with 500 naira. Like 5 cedi is like 500 naira. 5 cedi cannot buy me fuel. Like I can't get fuel for 5 cedi, but that 500 naira now can get me like about 3 liters of fuel in Nigeria. So in as much as our money does not have value, but when it comes to purchasing power, what I can do with 1000 naira, I can do with 10 cedi, you know. So like, I don't want to go into that one today, but I'm just like trying to let you know the difference. And this amount now, if you're converting it to naira, trust me, you're not going to spend up to this. You're not going to spend up to this. It's because of the value of the cedi. That's why it looks this high. If you convert to naira, you're not actually going to spend up to that. So currently, that is what it takes to live in. If you're a single person, you might not actually spend up to this. I'm just giving an average, and I've made it very, very easy for you, especially with the rent thing. Every other thing, I think you can moderate it yourself. This video has been helpful to somebody out there. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on your post notification so you're notified when I post new videos. Please like this video, just like it, like this video, like it. Thank you.